Hey guys and girls, I'm James and welcome to my channel. Today we're taking a look at the new Holystone HS175D that was just released. Nice foldable GPS drone from Holystone, but this one's better than the one that they released not too long ago, which was the HS175. This one has a 4K camera, a bigger battery, but most important, it has brushless motors. This one has brushed motors. And you may say, what's the difference between brushed motors and brushless motors? Well, a brushed motor is a brush that spins inside of a magnet. There's constant contact, so there's heat, friction, but they're very inexpensive to build. A brushless motor, and there's no contact, and they kind of remind me of the old finger spinners. Remember when they were plastic and they first came out, and then they started coming out with these really nice machined ones. So this is like what a brushless motor is. There's no contact. It's very high precision, a lot more power, no heat, but much more expensive to produce. So if you look, now it compares to the brushless motors on the DJI Mini, which is the most popular drone in the world. So, because the HS175, when it came out, had a lot to offer for $149. It's a GPS drone, 2.7 camera on a 2-axis gimbal. It had 2 batteries and a nice carrying case, but still with brushed motors, it still kind of was a beginner toy drone. Well, this is still a budget drone, but I wouldn't consider this a toy drone anymore. And if I was going to lean towards a toy drone, I really loved the HS340 at $55 and the DERC D10 and D50 at $70 and $80. So this one was $150, which is still the best and cheapest GPS drone out there. But for only $30 more, Holystone has really stepped their game up. I really love the color too, the black, for $189, but there is a 10% discount code that I'll put on the thumbnail. So before we go put her up in the air and see how she flies, let's go over the app and the controls and how to calibrate the gyro. And we'll even take the speed gun out and see how much better the brushless motors perform over the brushed motors. We'll even compare it to the DJI Mini and put it to the speed test with the speed gun. So let's dive in. So it comes with a really nice carrying case with a really nice feel. It's a zipper, it's got a nice handle to it. Foam, it comes with the drone, the controller, 2 batteries, 2 chargers, which I really like because they just plug into the battery right here. And you charge it into a USB and they just slide on like that. And when the light turns green, it's fully charged. Takes about, I think, an hour and a half, and you get 20 minutes of flight time. Also, if you look, the battery now is a 1700 milliwatt amp, and the other one was a 1300 milliwatt amp. So a lot more power in this battery than the old one. So it comes with the 2 controllers. It comes with extra props and a handy dandy screwdriver and a little nice package of salt. Don't eat that. So inside this little bag, you'll get your handy dandy screwdriver, extra props, extra screws, and extra brackets to hold them down. I don't know if I'd use this screwdriver. I think I'd get a little bit better one so you're not to strip out these screws. Well, let's see what she weighs in compared to the old 175. Weighs in at 202 grams, and with the larger battery and the brushless motors, it's going to weigh in at 216 grams, which is still a little lighter than the DJI Mini at 238, which puts it right in line with a small banana and a Huggy. So here's the brushless motors on the DJI Mini. You can see how it compares to them now, where before the brushed motors were encased and you couldn't even really have any access to them. What has changed now is you do need the screwdriver to change out the props instead of popping them on and off like the old 175. Also, the blades are marked A and B. Make sure you get the right ones on the right side because they spin in different directions. It won't fly if you don't get these on correctly. So look and you'll see the A and the B. So on the drone, on the bottom is the optical flow sensor. It is a GPS drone, so it uses the satellites to hold its position in the air, but the optical flow sensor really helps it hold its position over the ground. It's got a lot of lights. I really like these lights in the back. They change from green to red, and they blink and let you know when the battery's going dead. The power switch is on the top, and it's got 4 little lights to let you know how the battery's draining down. So the battery just slides in on the bottom, and there's a little button on the bottom you have to push to pull it back out. And on the very bottom right here is where you slide in your SD card. It will record to the app and to the SD card at the same time. If you don't have the app, if you don't have the SD card in, it'll just record to the app. So you have lights in the front and then 1-axis gimbal that is controlled with a remote. And you may say, man, I wish it had a 3-axis gimbal, but be careful what you ask for. If you look at this drone, you see how this is exposed? This is the first thing that breaks on these drones. And to repair this gimbal on this drone costs more than twice what this drone cost. So for a beginner drone, this gimbal is really protected in case of a crash. So on the controller, these handles pop out And it charges on the bottom. Good, you don't have to have batteries. It just takes a little mini USB to plug in the bottom to charge it. This flips up, you have your on and off switch. Your antenna's on the back, just pop that up. On this side, a short press for a camera and a short press for a video. On and off button, your takeoff button. This will go into headless mode with a short press, or it'll go into a long press. We'll put it into compass calibration. Then you return to home. Up here on the top is how you move your gimbal up and down. Then the one most important things on this is that there's no speed switch. What you do is you press down on the right one. So when it takes off, it'll be in speed 1. You put one short press and you'll hear 2 short beeps, and then it goes into speed 2. I would do that immediately. So there's really 3 speeds. When you go into you have beginner mode, speed 1 and speed 2. And to set the trim, if the drone seems to be sliding to the left or right when you're not in GPS mode, you press down on this one and push this one in the opposite direction of what the drone seems to be drifting. It takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get the hang of it. So to get the app, what you do is you go to your instruction manual and you open up until you find the QR code. Open up the camera on your phone or your iPad, and then place the QR code and open up the app. So when you turn the drone on, it's going to tell you got to hook it up to your Wi-Fi. So point the drone away from you and turn the drone on. You'll see the blinking lights, and they'll go to slow blink. Then open up your settings, open up your Wi-Fi until you see Holystone come up. And this is a step you cannot skip. If you don't hook it up to your Wi-Fi, they're not going to be linked. So once you hit Holystone and you see that it's checked, then you turn on your remote, and to set it, you go up, down, and then both down to the right to set the gyro. And then you'll see they're blinking fast. And then they go to red. That means they're all linked, but we haven't set the gyro yet. But now we need to set the gyro calibration to the drone. So what we do is we go back to the app, hit prepare, hit calibration. You see how they're blinking really fast? Then they'll stop. Now they're red. So now it's going to tell us to rotate the drone. So we rotate it 3 times. Well, it didn't say 3 times, but that's usually what it takes. Now it says to hold it vertically and rotate it 3 times. Now it's success. So we confirm. Now it says non-fixed mode right here, but as soon as we go outside, now it says optical mode. This will change to GPS mode. If you look, the camera's on. It's a 4K camera. Right here it's showing the battery. So if we open up settings, we can change it into beginner mode, which means when it gets a little more than 30 meters away from you, it will not yaw left or right, and it'll go really slow, but we don't want to do that. Now we can set our maximum altitude. So I want to set it, so right now I have my maximum altitude set at 100 meters and my maximum distance at 500 meters, and I hit save. So over here, one thing that's really important is this 50%. So it shows remote control priority switch is unable to switch. So what we need to do, I told you before, is we press down on this button here, and then that changes to 100%. That's real important when you're outside. See, it changes to 50 to 100. Takeoff button, return to home. This right here is your waypoints. So it has different tips. So right now it's on follow me. So we exit follow me, and then it'll follow the remote. It also has waypoints, and it has what I really like is circle mode, but that's not going to work until you get to the GPS satellites. Right here is your map. So you press this button and it'll show you where your drone is on the map. If you lose it, you can also hit find drone and it'll take you to where the drone is. On this side is your flight record. You can trash those if you want. Here's where you switch from camera to video. You can also do that. And then right here, see, I just took a picture. You can move the gimbal up and down here, or you can also move the gimbal up and down on the remote. Here's your photo album. And we'll switch over to video. And then when you press this down, it shows recording, and this will be your time. So let's go put her up in the air. Here we go. Both in, up. So it's a GPS drone, so there's really no trim. Man, these brushless motors sound so much better. Oh, I think I'm still in speed 1. Hold on. Hold on, let's see. I love the color, the black color. All right, there's speed 2. All right, let's see what's going. Man, this thing's fast. So the latency seems to be much better. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Before, when you would turn it, there seemed to be like a half a second. Look, it seems to be spot on now. Much, much better. Up, backwards, forwards. It still seems to steer better when it's pitched. And what I mean by that is it doesn't want to yaw real fast like this, but once it's going forward, it seems to want to yaw really quick. Man, it's a lot faster. My goodness. Can't wait to see how this. $18 miles an hour. Not bad. All right, we're here at the flooded Grapevine Marina. My goodness, it's flooded. We've got so much rain over here. Oh, put it to the test. Through the Mini, let's see how she flies in a little bit of wind. All right, guys, so remember this is not a 3-axis gimbal on this drone. So when it takes off, you'll get a little bit of shakiness to it. So the only way you would get like really cinematic footage is to fly to no wind. You can tell by looking at the lake how windy it is. So it's kind of windy. It would take really good photos because it is a 4K camera. The camera really adjusts to light pretty quick. And see how it's really white, and then the camera tells itself to see how it darkens. So if you're trying to get photos and stuff like that, it wouldn't take long for the camera to readjust itself. It does a really good job with that. The color saturation is really good. I mean, the greens and the blues come in really good with the camera. And also, this is what's recorded to the app. I had a lot of problems trying to get it to the SD card, but actually I like it better because it goes straight to the app, and then you just hit export and it puts it right to your phone instead of taking the SD card out and having to put it into the little holder and plug it into your phone. So that's not a big deal unless you don't have much storage on your phone. So it flies really well. Never have any doubt of what it's doing. You know, sometimes if you throw a non-GPS drone out, it's kind of scary with the wind, but this holds altitude very well, steers very well. You know, it's just so small. The line of sight isn't very far, so when it starts to get far away from you, it doesn't take long till you get nervous. So you'll learn to start looking at your phone or your iPad or whatever you're flying it with to learn the direction. If you ever get confused, just hit the app button. Here I take it to a different part of the lake. And another thing too, it took me a couple times to set the compass on it. I kept trying to hit calibrate. I had to turn it off 3 or 4 times. I don't know if I wasn't doing something right, but once it did it once, it always calibrated really quick. Never had any problems with that. And you can kind of see the shakiness, but if you do a straight pass in beginner mode would help because it wouldn't turn as fast. You know, I'm trying to do some sport modes. Got me a new Jeep, really like it. I should do a review on that. All right guys, thanks so much for watching, and this thing's a lot of fun. I'm gonna do some more videos on this drone. I'll do see how far it flies and some more speed tests. I was really surprised it didn't go faster than 18 miles an hour. It felt a lot faster. The old one was 12 miles an hour and felt fast. The DJI Mini came in about 26, you know, but the Spark comes in about 40. My Inspire 2 is about 77 miles an hour, and I think I've had my DJI FPV up to 90, 93. So, you know, 18 is relative, but it's still, for as small as it is and for the price point, it's really fast. A lot of fun. You know, no matter how many drones you have, sometimes it's fun just to push them to the limit and see what they can do. So thanks so much for watching my review of the Holystone HS175D. Man, you really got to give it to Holystone for stepping up their game. I mean, this was a really good drone, the 175, but they upgraded to a 4K camera, much bigger batteries, brushless motors, and only $30. Is it as good as a DJI Mini? Of course not, guys. This is $600, and this is $180, but with 10% off right now, I think that's like $160. So it's almost 25% of the cost. But it's like saying, can a mini truck pull as much as a F-350? Well, of course it can, but maybe a mini truck's all you need. Well, maybe this is all you need. You know, for a first drone, if you're wanting a toy, I still love the HS340. This is $55 and it's a lot of fun. It has a camera, but it's not a GPS drone, does not have brushless motors, or even the A10 from the D10 from DERC is a great drone for like $70 or $80. But this may be the only drone that some people need, and it's a lot of fun. I love the new color being black. That's awesome. You know, it still doesn't have the 3-axis gimbal, so you're not going to get, you know, awesome cinematic footage with it, but you're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's a lot quicker now. It's a great way to learn how to fly a drone. It's kind of like buying a treadmill. Usually they just become a clothes hanger, right, to dry clothes on. Well, that's what some people, they buy drones and that's all they do. So don't spend $600 or $2,000 if you think that you want to buy a drone. Buy something like this. You can have a lot of fun with it. It performs very well. GPS hold, brushless motors, 4K camera, good batteries, great carrying case, and great customer support with Holystone. So if you have any problems, you just email them and they take care of it better than almost any company I've ever dealt with. So thanks so much for watching. If you got something out of this, please like and subscribe. Subscribers mean everything to me. And I'm giving a couple of these away, one this month, one next month, along with some mini drones. You can see the other videos, and I'll post everything on the Facebook page. So like and subscribe and enter to win these. But just like and subscribe because you want to see more videos on cool little drones like this. I mean, there's a lot of reviewers of the really good DJI drones and the Inspires and everything, but I love reviewing mini drones because you got to start somewhere, and these things are so much fun to start with. And this is a great budget beginner drone. I can't imagine someone buying this and not being happy with it. So I'll see you in the next one.